Hello, Trade Talks followers, and welcome to another episode. My name is Lyanne Alfaro. We're coming to you live from Times Square, New York City, to talk with the co-founders and co-CEOs of Esusu. They're tapping into more than $3 trillion of untapped capital through building credit profiles. Thank you so much for joining us. Joining me right now is Samir, Goel, and Abbey, Wemimo. Thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for having us.
So, take me from the very start. How are you tapping into this much capital? There are 45 million people in this country that have trouble or don't have proper credit scores.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So when we think about the 45 million people that don't have credit scores, are predominantly low to medium income people, which reflects the people on our mobile application. So our core focus is how do we try as much as possible to score these people so they can get access to things like a mortgage, a cheaper credit alternative. So that's the fundamental means we're looking to address this issue of financial exclusion by boosting people's credit score so they can have access to over $3.1 trillion in capital, which is a great thing for the economy.
Absolutely. Now, talk to me a little bit about your average user or consumer. They're lower and middle income class.
Yeah, absolutely. So low to middle income generally defines our user group. We have a big segment of our population that is immigrants and minorities, and largely clustered in kind of urban cities. We're nationwide, so we don't have too much of a geographical variation, but generally speaking, we have a lot of folks that are kind of figuring out how to make ends meet from a socioeconomic standpoint. So income, usually below $40,000 kind of nationwide.
When you're first trying to build your credit score and you're in this position, what are some of the pain points and hurdles that you face?
One of the biggest pain points you face, especially for immigrants, is you don't have a credit history. So one of the biggest factors when we think about credit score is your age of credit. So if you come into the American system without an age of credit, it's a big problem, which would expose you to high interest rates, which is not one of the things we want to have. Another thing is the exclusion of alternative credit. So things like rents today are not being captured, but due to the work we are doing and others in the marketplace, we're trying as much as possible to incorporate this data point to make sure this data is reflected and people can boost their credit scores and get access to better loans.
That's fantastic. Now, tell us a little bit about the origin story. How did you both meet?
Yeah, great question. We met maybe 6 years ago now, actually at a conference, and we had the same funder for our first business, and we just became really good friends. We were conference buddies and just kind of exchanged notes around social entrepreneurship, but I think the key was that we learned that we shared a similar kind of upbringing in an immigrant community and a lot of values, and we were really passionate about delivering a solution to the communities that we come from around financial empowerment. And so we started speaking about this, I think, loosely around Christmas in 2015, and then over the coming months decided to spend some time while still in corporate America to flesh this idea out and start working towards bringing it to execution.
Now, you mentioned that you started working on this while you were in corporate America, and clearly you have a very strong personal background and personal tie to this company that you're building. Is the hope that eventually this kind of service will be integrated and offered at a more mainstream level?
Yes, so that's the hope. That's why we're trying as much as possible to democratize access. For me personally, growing up in a single mother household with two sisters, immigrating to the United States, when my mother and I came to this country, we walked into one of the biggest banks to get access to credit. We were denied because we didn't have a credit score. We went down the streets to a payday loan lender and got a loan at 400% interest rates. In addition to that, my mother sold my father's wedding ring, and that's how I got my first year of college paid for. For us, our core focus is no one should go through that kind of trauma. And in a more fair America, everyone should have access to better credit by integrating alternative data like rent to boost their credit profile. And it's not just a good thing for the average person on the streets, it's a good thing for the American economy because we can unlock that $3.1 trillion in capital.
No quips there. Now, tell me a little bit, finally, about your new platform. And you have a rent platform that you've recently rolled out where you're going to help folks build credit through that as well. How does that work?
Yeah, thanks, Lyanne. So it's actually very simple. When you pay your rent on time, we're able to take that data and report it to the credit reporting agencies. Historically, alternative data wasn't really accepted in the credit report, but as of the last 3 or 4 years, this has been newly added, and so we've built the first platform that can actually implement the capture of this information and then reporting it into the credit reporting agencies. We actually partner directly with landlords, and for them, the incentive is actually that when rent is seen as a credit building activity, more tenants pay on time. So it's really a win for everyone. The tenants build their credit score and the landlords can drive up their net operating income.
Fantastic. And I know that we just did a quick B-roll of what that platform looks like. So really hope that people can check it out. And you also recently closed a round of seed funding to the tune of 1.6 million. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What does that mean for Esusu in the next steps?
Yeah, for us, we're very, very excited to have, very good investors like Acumen, Klein & Perkins, and the rest joining around and seeing the promise of what we're trying to do in the world. For us, it's trying as much as possible to tap into that 43 million people that are financially excluded today. So core focus, building our platform to make sure it's best in class end-to-end for the landlords and then the tenants. Number 2 is bringing in exceptional team members. We have a saying at Esusu, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you fundamentally go together. So the aim to bring in the best in class is of core focus for us. And the most important thing is security and privacy. For us, we don't care about the 99% of what goes right. It's the 1% that can ruin our reputation we care about. So for us, making sure we have the most safest, secure platform and paving that permanent bridge to financial access and inclusion for everyone is of top priority.
Fantastic. And if we want to learn more, where can we go?
Yeah, great question. You can find us online pretty easily. Our website is Esusu, E-S-U-S-U, rent.com. And then we're on all the social media channels. And just reach out to us. Abbey and I are very accessible.
Abbey, Samir, thank you so much for joining us here on Trade Talks and telling us a little bit more about your platform. And congratulations, best of luck on your future endeavors here with Esusu.
Thank you
Awesome.
for having us.
Thanks so much for having us, Lyanne.
Nasdaq followers, please stay tuned for more coverage coming to you all weekend long. And next week, right here on Trade Talks, we're signing off right here from the Nasdaq market site in Times Square.